I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only
What's
go.
going on, guys? JK, I'm back with another video, and in this video today, I'm going to be talking about the Super Bowl matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, and giving my prediction on who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. But before I get into it, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel to make sure to keep up with future NFL content, whether it's NFL Combine, the NFL draft coming up, NFL, the Senior Bowl, stuff like that. Please make sure to subscribe down below so you can make sure to keep up with all of that. But in the Super Bowl, we do have a rematch of 2 years ago. It's the Philadelphia Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are going for that three-peat. The Eagles are looking to stop that and get their first Super Bowl win since 2017 with Nick Foles. And both these two teams are probably the best in the NFL. I went 0 for 2 last week. I had the Commanders. I thought maybe Jaden Daniels was going to be able to go in there. But in that game, it just seemed like every single time the Commanders kind of would cut it short to a one possession game, they would end up turning the ball over and end up going back down by 2 scores. So it made it really rough for them. And then in the Chiefs Bills game, I ended up picking the Bills, and I thought the Bills would win, but it honestly just came down to them not making the big plays that they needed to be able to execute, to be able to win a Super Bowl and win that championship, to be able to go and play in it. It seemed like every single time that a big play was coming up, like that 4th and 1 on that QB sneak, you have to be able to get a yard. If you can't get that, you don't deserve to win. And then just that last drive in general, just kind of, you got to be able to go down there and seal that game and seal your legacy to be able to go to the Super Bowl. And the Kansas City Chiefs championship DNA, I think, kind of came out where they've won all these big games. They've done this before, won all these Super Bowls. So it really kind of showed there. But that's what kind of led to getting this matchup. And the Chiefs versus Eagles rematch is definitely going to be interesting. Not only because the Chiefs have kind of had a rework a little bit, they're kind of a similar team that they were 2 years ago, but they have had some tweaks. This Eagles team looks a whole lot different than that team 2 years ago. They have the similar core, but their offensive line, obviously, they've had to replace Jason Kelce, and then they've added Saquon Barkley, who's been probably one of the best players, if not the best player in the NFL this year on the Philadelphia Eagles. They have that amazing secondary that's been playing well. Their defense has been playing amazing. What this is going to come down to, I think, is how does Philadelphia's offense do against Kansas City's defense. If Kansas City's defense, this is the way it's been all season, especially for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you can come out and stop Saquon and kind of force Jalen Hurts to feel flustered, you're going to win the game. Now, saying that, Patrick Mahomes, both these teams are coming off one of the best games that they've played all season. Patrick Mahomes played amazing last week after he's been kind of struggling. He had 250 yards, 18 for 26, 2 touchdowns. He had an amazing game. They're going to do theirs. Their offensive line has been playing great. Their defense has been playing great. It's just really Patrick Mahomes was kind of struggling there, which that just kind of makes him an average quarterback because when he's struggling, he's still better than a lot of the people in the league. And the Philadelphia Eagles, if they can come out and run the ball, they had 270 rushing yards last week. And it always seems like the Philadelphia Eagles defense is able to come out and force some turnovers. That's one of the most frustrating things if I'm cheering against the Eagles. It always seems like that they come out and force some type of fumble, and it always goes their way. If you look at it last week against Commanders, they forced 3, 4 fumbles against Commanders and recovered every single one of them. So one of them, 2 of them were on special teams, and one of them was on a reception that was 15 yards downfield. They're always actively trying to punch the ball out. And they end up capitalizing on that, getting the short field with Saquon Barkley in that running game. You've seen on the very first play, Jaden Daniels goes down and gets a field goal in the first drive. And as soon as the Eagles get the ball, they get a 56 yards explosive rush with Saquon Barkley. So it's kind of dependent on both these teams are playing great football. They've just been playing their best games. I think it's really the main focus is going to come down to if Kansas City and their defense with Steve Spagnuolo can come out and contain Saquon Barkley and make Jalen Hurts feel pressure to where he's not going to be getting AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and all these guys involved. And if the Eagles end up getting turnovers, if the Chiefs end up doing what the Commanders did, do 2 turnovers, 3 turnovers, then it's definitely going to be an Eagles favored game and they're going to win the Super Bowl. But on the other hand, it's also the Chiefs. This is the first time a team has gone to the Super Bowl looking for a three-peat. It would be the first time ever that three-peats actually happened. They had the first back-to-back win since the early Patriots in the 2000s. So it's kind of hard to pick against them, especially when Patrick Mahomes is coming off his best game and he's playing in the Super Bowl, and the only guy that has ever even beat him in the Super Bowl is Tom Brady, and the only other guy that's really even beaten him in the playoffs is Joe Burrow. So those are his only 2 playoff losses, and it's just wild that he could be going and looking for his 4th Super Bowl, and he's not even 30 years old yet, and he's going to have a lot more time to be able to go out and do a lot of this because Tom Brady went 10 years in between his Super Bowl gap. He went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl until he started winning about 3 or 4 more, and later in his career. So that could happen here. I do think if the Chiefs win, I think Travis Kelce's done. I think this is going to be his last game if they win. I don't know if they lose what he does. I have a feeling that no matter what, it's going to be his last game. I think he just stayed around to try to go for the historic three-peat. And overall, between these 2 teams, I am going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. Their defense has been playing very well. They've been forcing turnovers. They're one of the highest teams in the NFL at forcing turnovers. They've gotten pretty much 3 turnovers in every game and capitalized on them. Their run game is just so efficient, and they're able to run the ball all over every team that they play. Now, like I said, if the Chiefs are able to stop that running attack, then it's going to be a big issue for them. But my main pick is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that they're going to come out, get 1 or 2 turnovers, get a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes with Jalen Carter up the middle. And I think that they're just going to be able to run the ball, and they're just going to be able to continue their offense, hit 1 or 2 deep balls to AJ Brown. And I think when they win, I think Saquon's going to win Super Bowl MVP. Giants fans are going to be disgusted throwing up. Giants owner, John Mara, might end up just throwing up everywhere and have nightmares about Saquon winning the Super Bowl MVP. But I do think he's going to get his typical 150 to 180, potentially 2 to 3 touchdowns that he usually gets, and he's going to end up being Super Bowl MVP. So my final prediction is Philadelphia Eagles winning Super Bowl 59 over the Kansas City Chiefs with Saquon Barkley winning MVP. So please make sure to comment down below with anything I said. If you agreed or disagreed, please make sure to like the video. It really helps me out with trying to expand the channel. And please make sure to subscribe to the channel to make sure to keep up with all the future NFL content that I'm going to be putting out in the next couple of days. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple.